veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing? JR?
Hey, we are back, people. We are back. I'm all good, thank you. How are you doing? All good?
I'm good. I'm all good. And the weather is very nice today. We just got the low 80s here, so everything is good. What about you, Elsid? How are you doing today?
Doing good. We're getting rained out over here, so at least the temperature isn't that hot.
Yeah, okay. Hey Kirby, welcome in. Welcome. Miss Wilson, some of my first dayers. Miss Wilson, good to see you. She says hello, El Cid. Yeah, what did you guys think this episode? We know we took this 2-3 month hiatus to do the Never Ever Shoulda Ever Met show, but now Ready to Love is back with the 7th episode of season 10. And what was your thoughts on, if you had to grade this episode, El Cid? Would you give it a A or would you give it a C? What kind of grade would you give this episode?
I would give this a D. Didn't need to come back.
Yeah, okay. Okay, maybe JR be a little bit more optimistic. JR, what grade would you give it? A to F for failing?
Well, listen, I was going to give it a D2, to be honest. It was not worth the wait. I still can't understand the gap, but as eventful as it wasn't really an optimistic outlook that I came away after watching the show. So I'll give it a D2. Minus.
A D minus. I you know what, myself, I will go ahead and give it a C minus because there were some interesting things that did happen during this episode. So I will give it a C minus. Okay. I'll be a little bit more optimistic than either of you two. But let's start with the elimination. So we know that last episode when we were watching months ago, the women were in power and they had the assignment to take out the two gentlemen. I believe it was Fritz and Eddie on a date, and decide which one of them was going home. El Cid, were you surprised at all at who they sent home?
I was surprised both went home. I knew Fritz was going. I knew Fritz was out of here, the poly of it all, the polyester. I knew
Right.
He was going, and Sahara was the right person to tell him hit the road, Jack, because he was the one fussing about her the last time. But Sahara, what I did not like is, Sahara, you let him know that you knew the play. So we know the men are talking about what happens in the lounge. So I just like the fact that she told him, he need to hit the road. But usually Tommy would tell us a double elimination. But, I was surprised at Eddie being sent home, actually. I thought he was going to be a favorite to stay.
I thought so too. And I wasn't aware. Were you guys, either of you, aware, or did you observe all of this drinking that he was doing? And, was his behavior, kind of like he was a little bit inebriated? What did you guys see in the past?
That wasn't to anyone in particular.
Either one of you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the same narrative that they created for Cooley when they sent her home. Like, there's he drinks a lot, and they said the other. I thought Eddie was going home because of how he appeared in some of the dates, the more later dates that he went on, which is basically, I want my woman at home. I want to, gave this real caveman type speech. on some of his dates. So I thought that would have been why he would have been sent home. I was surprised more at the double elimination. I was surprised that both of them went home. And with the Fritz thing, yeah, the polyamory rumors just tarnished his name, and there was no saving it, no matter how he tried to explain it. There was no going back. Whether he wants a polyamorous lifestyle or not, like he wouldn't be on the show because that's not something they promote on the show anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Who was the guy? Wasn't it in Washington D.C. that we met a guy that had that polyamorous lifestyle? Who was the last guy, or was it the guy in Dallas that did the poetry, the erotic poetry, or something like that?
Marvin in Dallas.
Marvin
Yeah.
in Dallas, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that usually doesn't go over. Like JR pointed out, that's not generally the point of the show, if we even
Yeah.
know what the show is at this point, but that's not the point of it, I guess. So we both of these men, Eddie and Fritz, go home. And I think Fritz basically said, did you guys catch when he said, I thought I was going to stay on here a little bit longer. I was going to make it to the end. Did anybody catch that? Either one of you?
Yeah, I caught that. He was surprised. I mean, again, the rumors, I don't think he expected the rumors of what he was following on Instagram to ruin his chances completely of finding a match, but it did. And I think, again, with Eddie, once Cody left, that was his strongest connection, or seemed to be. So I'm not sure who his connections were after that, but it wasn't enough.
Right. We have in the next scene, we have you guys gonna have to help me with names. I'm sorry. In the audience, you guys gotta help me with these names. So we got who's the chocolate brother that had the blue shirt on?
I need to see the picture. I can't remember.
And he has I know, and I didn't put any in today either.
What was
and
the scene?
He has the braided hair. Okay, so they're going for the
braided hair.
Khalil.
Khalil, yeah. Khalil, and he goes to meet up with the young lady that he's seen and her date.
Which one? Because Jay also has braided hair that braids all the way back.
Okay, is he real dark skinned though, real chocolatey?
Yes, that's Jay.
Yes, that's Jay. Okay, you're talking about that's Jay.
Now, does she have all her tatas out to her throat?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's Jay.
Lady. The one.
So he went to meet the ex with her, right?
Yeah. Right. He meets up with the ex with her. And what did you make of their date and their interaction with the ex, JR?
Yeah, it was horrible. He was turned off completely by what he heard from the ex. And the ex obviously has some issues himself. That story that he told of how they got together was incredibly alarming and creepy. Basically, him being 18 or something and seeing her, knowing that she had a crush on him when she was like a minor, when she was like 9.
Yeah.
And waiting until she came of age before he made his move. And then, it's creepy. And you could tell that Jay was not feeling that at all. But then what was the scary part is it seems as if he still has some type of emotional attachment to her, because the way the ex was talking, it was like he's willing to be with her again now. And he also painted her out to be quite materialistic. So she wasn't happy with how he handled that particular assignment at all.
Yeah.
And it didn't win her over with Jay.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Okay, I missed it. You guys got to help me out. Okay, so El Cid, did you catch that? I guess he noticed that she had a crush on him when she was only 9 and he was 18. Because I took that differently. I took that she was like a teenager and they met or they started dating or going out years later.
He said she was his younger sister's friend.
Right.
They were all in the church, I'm gathering, but she was this church girl. But when he said he waited till when she turned 18, he had to jump on that, is when I saw red. I was like, this man is a problem. And I'm with Jay. Even if he is sitting there waiting, Jay's looking at her like, you still have him in your realm as a friend?
Mm-hmm.
You still have him around you? And I'm going to be listening to hear after this conversation, is he still going to be around you? Or is she going to use the excuse, well, that's my best friend's brother? You know, I just think it was sounding creepy grooming. It was sounding creepy. She
Yeah.
grew up. And I just had to, try that. That is your sister's friend. That should be as close to family potentially as possible. But this is
Mhm.
a
Right.
young lady. You sat there and you waited and you plotted. And when she was 18, you scooped her up. This is
Wow.
diabolical. I don't know.
Mhm.
I
Very.
don't know if his social media should still be up and running because I am sure people are after him now.
Got to
That's
be.
that's weird. That is weird. And you right now think about it. I do recall he said something about I jumped on it when she became of age, something to that effect. It's
Right.
not his exact words, but something along those lines. And I'm just thinking that's a bit much because even if she was 18 and he's 9 years older, that would put him at 27. What's a 27-year-old doing with a teenager?
Right. And it also revealed that he was studying her before she was of age.
He's
That's what
still
I'm saying.
studying her. He's still studying.
Exactly. But what I'm saying, so when she was a minor, he was studying and he waited to jump on it when she got to the legal age. So that means he was aware and he was just biding his time. So he was looking into, possible relations with this kid. So yeah, very creepy, very pedo behavior. No doubt about it. Very weird. So
Yeah.
if she picked the wrong ex to come on that show, even if that was the case, why would you bring him on if that's how you got together? That's crazy.
I think there's something still there. That's what I'm sensing because, like you said, it's a really odd thing to still have him in your life. And also on this date, wasn't he basically saying that he still cared for her?
He's willing to shoot his shot now, and
Yeah.
he's treating it like Jay's competition for him.
Wow.
And I can get her if I want her. Because
Exactly.
he sounded like Ray J. I had her first. That is what creeped the heck out of me. And I was like, Jay, you are definitely a better person than me. Because that table would have been shaking like K Michelle. It would have been shaking.
Yeah, but I will say Jay was actually, coming at him as well. Well, he didn't like what he was hearing, and he was letting that be known. He wasn't trying to, sugarcoat anything. He was actually very, concerned about what he was hearing by the looks of things, and turned off as well. My surprise is that, she actually was more upset about being called materialistic and this, that, the other, rather than all the stuff that was aired out.
Do we think, El Cid, do we think that it's possible that because if what he's saying is true, like she was of age, let's say 18, when they started going out dating, whatever, and started in a relationship, do we think that she did not go back and realize what was going on before she turned 18? What do you think?
I think it could have been that, she knew he was an option, and maybe it's like, oh, the opportunity to get with my, whether it was a crush or not, she did not deny it. Get with my crush. She probably was wide-eyed and thinking like, hey, this could be forever. My best friend's brother, da 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 da. The families are together. She could have been, very naive. But now she grown. Now she got two, I think it's two or one kid with this
The guy who's in
gentleman that
jail,
gentleman that's
Lord,
incarcerated. So
incarcerated
again,
in prison.
right. I'm trying to be as graceful as I can with her
You're
because
so good. You're so
when
good.
when he said she was a servant, I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, no. How is this man your friend? And he kept on pushing that, and like she can never change from 18 to now mid 30s. It's like, dude, the woman you knew is not the woman before you right now. She also didn't have children at 18. So stop
Right.
trying to rewind the calendar to get back the girl you wanted. And it sounded like you wanted to control.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it sounded like he was controlling her due to the age gap, the power
Oh yeah.
dynamic. So,
Absolutely.
um, that's why he will always see her in that light, because he was like, well, I took you when I was your first, or I took you when you were young, and I still have that influence over you. So yeah, I was very alarmed at what I heard, and it wasn't even me on the date. But I'm like,
Right.
how can you
He's
bring this guy on the show? And if that's how you met, that's bad. That's nothing to be celebrated at all. I didn't hear one good thing
Well,
about their relationship.
he
let
did
me
say
ask you.
that. He said you'd never get over your crush. What? What?
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Shoot, I had a crush on Rick James. I've been over that.
Oh Lord, Rick James. Okay, all right. It's
What,
music,
the
but
super
not
freak?
the
Elsie, you
person.
had a crush on the super freak, yeah?
Hey, he had the
Ooh.
braids, he had style, he could sing, he had a
Oh
band,
Lord.
he
He
had
did
he
lots.
had glam.
He
Okay.
did lots of class A. He was psycho, but he's talented. I give
He
you
was
that.
very talented, but yeah, it was some other things going on there too. But let me ask you this. Okay, the question Mimi brings up something. Do either of you think that she saw this as a flex, that he was still into her, that maybe she keeps him around because it's always that one person that can pump up your ego because he still wants you.
Mm.
What do you
Yeah,
think, JR?
could very well be. I can't think of any other reason why she keep him around. She's not tied to him. She's obviously got an ex, like you said, who she got kids with already. So she's moved on in terms of
Yeah,
relationships. So
right.
why keep this guy around? But we don't know in what capacity. So,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah, for him to still feel like he's got a shot, got a
mhm.
chance, that's crazy.
I gotta wonder if she has any if she has a girl child, because if she does, I think I wouldn't have my girl child, my female child, around him. I don't think so. What do you think, Elsie? Do you think she thinks it's a flex?
She may, or she may just be one of those people where you don't leave an ex completely, or it's just that as they said, the connection they have, she can't be completely done with him. That is one of her friend's brother. And
Yeah.
that friend may be the godparent to her kids if it's as
Mhm.
close as they were. So she
Mhm.
really can't, she can ice him out, but she really can't put him completely out of her, of her life if it is as I'm assuming.
Exactly. You bring up a good point. Like maybe they still see each other at family functions, family reunions, things like that, because they're so close in terms of how they know each other through her best friend and his sister. So he hasn't been completely removed from her life because they encounter each other from time to time.
Yeah. Well, someone says, Dina says, maybe that's a little fire and desire going on. Back to your Rick James reference. Maybe these two have some fire and desire. I don't know, but he didn't seem to be Jay didn't seem to be too pleased with what was going on. And he also said, was this the date where he also said that he felt like this man, she had moved on and she was doing better than him, and that was the reason why he made the materialistic comment? Was that the same date?
Yeah, yeah, it was. And if you go to Africa also has she makes a good point that
Hmm.
she really didn't make eye contact with the
Hmm.
gentleman because when I saw the clip in the week before the show, I was like, I hope she speaks up for herself and
Right.
tells that guy, hey, no, 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 pump your brakes. Um, but she really didn't. She would speak up about I'm not materialistic, like I'm not a gold digger thing, or I was not a humble servant in the church. I went to church. She would go into the pattern of 9 years old in my head, nine
Yeah, the
years old.
child. That's what I noticed too. She went back to her 9-year-old self, which is really, really interesting and creepy at the same time.
Yeah, the
Very
body
creepy.
language, the ducking of the head and the talking, looking down at the table. I was
Hmm.
like, where is the feisty girl? Where is she? Yeah, he still got a little bit of a hold on her and he knows it and he gonna play it.
Mm. And then little Hurtler says that she thinks that she thinks of it as a flex in a psycho overly dramatic way. The only way he knows that he has a shot with her is because he's being led to believe so. Sorry.
Oh, she
Would you?
thinks that, that she's controlling him. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, she's got this control over him. That's why I said a little bit kind of what I was alluding to when I said, she's got him in her life for a reason. And maybe that reason is he boosts her esteem. And, she's always got him in the back pocket, like in case guy A doesn't work out. Hey, you've got him over here, guy B.
Well, baby daddy is incarcerated, so the household may need a sponsor. We don't know.
Yeah, or at least a maintenance man at the very least.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. So, last thing, what are your thoughts on it, Jr. Before we move on?
Yeah, I just think it was a bad date. Um, I saw from the other couples that had the similar ex dates. The exes are few and far between on this show. But if that's the
Yeah.
best representation that she could have brought, uh, yeah, that would set off alarm bells if I was in Jake's position. And like you guys said, if she's got an ex who's incarcerated and she has this guy that she's always going to have in her life in some capacity due to the proximity of their relationship through her sister, through his sister, sorry, then yeah, that would be concerning for me. So I'd be out. That's a no.
Mm, right, right, yeah. They're saying that the door is still cracked open. That's what I'm thinking too, and I think that made her less attractive to Jay. Um, Cameron, Cameron, and long braids are on a
Sahara.
date, huh?
Sahara.
Sahara was okay. They're at a they're on a date. She doesn't have an ex. I mean, what are we making of these people that do not have any exes? They say, "Oh, my ex, they're all in relationships," or the one from college. I didn't want to bring him because that was too long ago. What do you make of that, El Cid?
I was waiting for it because I was like, remember we started off, Angie said that her fiance passed away before they got married. So I was waiting for it. And I hate to say, I always say it's Philly. Philadelphia brought something different. There are people that have, significant others who are no longer with us. And this is at an alarming rate with these ladies here. I am going to say it is not um different than what I know of Philly from my family being there. So I am glad that they still got to have their date. Because remember, Cam and Sahara only see each other when it's time for her to potentially be eliminated. They never really had a date on camera that we saw.
Mm-mm.
So this is their first date, and we have to talk about something about someone who is no longer here is
Mm.
certainly putting her in an emotional way. But she handled it well. She told
Yes.
him Sahara is an open book, and she told him exactly how she behaves.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
Sahara has been pretty transparent thus far. At least that's what I'm getting from her. I take it that you're getting the same thing, El Cid.
Yeah, she is. She is very smart. She's an open book, and I like that she was vulnerable with Cam, and she told him about the other ex. It's disastrous because she's like he would not handle her gently, thinking she can handle it. So you see
Yeah.
another aspect of why she doesn't have another ex to bring because he said, well, maybe they just need to handle you softly. She is opening up to Cam very, very much, and I love this because Sahara's my girl. Sahara's my girl.
Yeah, I did like that. She became very vulnerable this day. What about you, JR? Did you
Um,
see her become vulnerable or did you feel that?
nah, not really. She just did what the date required, in my opinion.
Mm,
They have a connection. Cam really likes her, and I think
okay.
she senses that may be her strongest connection as well. So that's where she may be vulnerable with him more than the others. Because after being at the bottom for a few episodes, like she was, she didn't like any of the guys after that. But Cam was the one that's been saving the day for her and keeping her in the show. Um, so yeah, I would expect a level of vulnerability because they're each other's top connection from what I can see. Um, Now, for me, I caught the part where she said, "I don't have an ex." He wasn't really a boyfriend; he was more like a best friend, and he's no longer here anymore. So it wasn't even a boyfriend. There was too much. He's a friend and not just a relationship. That's what I took from that.
Mm,
But if someone isn't there to give, if you can't bring an ex, then you failed the task. So uh, you've only had two relationships. That's fine. One, the other guy wasn't, in your opinion, appropriate to give you a glowing report or good feedback. So you didn't bring him. Fair enough. But what you're doing is now you can just create a whole narrative on how those relationships ended without the person being able to corroborate that or give an opinion of you from their experience. Cam
Hmm.
seems to be welcoming of that though, and very giving her a lot of grace for it. And I think that's purely because he likes her so much.
Yeah, and they kind of surprised me that the two of them, when we saw back a few episodes ago, that the two of them had went out on a date and were really starting to click. That really surprised me.
It was her and Hussein too. We saw an extra
Yeah,
on OWN went on a fantastic
yeah.
date.
It was her and
Mm.
Hussein, not her and Cam.
Oh, no. I'm not saying we saw the date, but do you guys remember if they were at something together, or maybe he was in the men's lounge, but he was talking about his connection with her?
Because he was the only one that wanted to save her. And
Ah,
they've only been on elimination dates. They haven't actually been on one-to-one dates.
okay. Well,
So he was the one that told her what Fritz was saying in the lounge,
oh
because
yeah,
they were on
that's
an elimination date, not because they actually went out on a date. He went out on a date with Deanna for some reason, and that didn't work, obviously.
okay. The young lady who is going to be eliminated at the end of this, what is her name?
Her name is Shanice.
Shanice, yes. Shanice meets up with Cisco and her ex to have a conversation about, whatever they're having a conversation about. What are your thoughts on this date? And did you catch JR? Wait a minute. And
Mhm.
did you catch, let me say this. And did you catch when they asked about his other connection, and she said that she was cute and he said she's beautiful? And like, why he got so upset, I do not understand or know. What did you think about that, JR?
Yeah, she didn't think it was appropriate for him to compliment another woman on their date. But it's been clear that Cisco really does like what's her name? Her name is
Tay.
yeah, Tate, that's it. He really does like Tate. I think what Shanice was getting at is they had the body painting date, so there's a level of closeness there. Her top connection was Fritz until he got sent home. So now she's moving on to the possible next connection, and his top connection isn't her. So it wasn't going to work, really. He's not feeling her as much as he's feeling Tate. He wasn't prepared to, pursue her like that.
But do you have any idea why he got so upset that she said that Tay was cute? I mean, nothing wrong with being cute. It's the same to me as pretty or beautiful or whatever. It's just like it's a compliment. Why did he get so upset? Do you understand that?
Yeah, because like I said, I think it's because talking about another woman, complimenting another woman, calling her beautiful is offensive to Shanice. That's how she took it. So
Okay. Okay.
I think she kind of said, okay, yeah, she's cute, as if to downplay, but I'm number one. She didn't say that, but that's kind of the
But that
connotation.
was that was what you got out of it. Okay,
Yeah,
I can see
that's the
that.
connotation. That's the way it came across. So he quickly stepped in and said, no, she's beautiful, and reminded her that's who her competition is. That's his top connection.
Okay. Now, so Elsie, what did you make of the whole cute, beautiful thing and the whole date?
I would have left, because why are you bringing up another woman's name when we are on a date about me?
Mm-hmm.
You would have had to unmic me. Let's go. I'll let you write your name on my naked chest. Okay? Okay? And you have the nerve. You have the nerve to bring up another woman's name. She's trying to tell, this is how I took it from Shanice. She's trying to tell her dude do pull back when he heard another connection or connections. He pulled back and look at Shanice like, what are you doing? And then it's like, okay, she's like, she's cute. She's cute. She's like, hey, she doesn't have to say beautiful. But the thing is, oh, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, da 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 da. It's like you are now lauding another woman in my presence in front of my guest who's here to meet you and answer your question Tay has taken over my date.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck is going on here? Yeah, she's cute. Okay, she's saying, okay, yeah, she's cute. She's his other connection. She's trying to keep it even keel. And here
Right.
goes Cisco feeling all hurt, I guess because he
In
couldn't
his
take his shirt off.
emotions.
Because he couldn't take his shirt off this episode. He's like, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful. No, read the room. Tay is not here. Focus on Shanice.
Mm-hmm.
This one got me hot. Undercover Predator, that date, but this date was the close second, got me hot. Why are we mentioning somebody else's name? Come
Mm-hmm.
on, Cisco. You already told her she was heading home. By your reaction to her saying cute, no, she's beautiful. That told her we ain't even in it.
Yeah. To Go to Africa says, Ready to Love needs to end these type of dates. This group is older. Just let's stop that and maybe go to family, something like that. What do you think of that idea, El Cid?
I mean, we all meet family. I mean, next week the women are meeting the men's friends. Um, if we're gonna do X's, I think we need to do X's in a strategic way. And even if the X cannot come, I would appreciate a letter or notification from an X. They don't have to show up, but they could certainly mail their references into production.
Yeah, you know what I thought of also. What about like the Zoom meet? Didn't we a couple of seasons ago? Didn't we have somebody call in through a Zoom or something like that?
We did. Mm-hmm.
We did, but some people don't want to be on social media at all, and I understand that. But you can certainly send a note.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's this note gonna say, El Cid?
Hey, we dated. I dated Shanice. Let's leave it on Shanice's date. Hey, I dated Shanice. It was wonderful. They can have about 5 questions you can ask. What is the end of the relationship? What things could she improve upon? What things, did the relationship could have been better? There are simple questions that you could ask for them, to send back a response.
Exactly. 100% agree. Do a pre-recorded video if necessary. But those questions are valid because that provides more detail and background into how the person handles relationships. You might get some good insights from that. Now, if it was the men's turn to have their exes on show, would we be saying cancel it? No, we wouldn't. So I think if you cannot bring an ex, then a testimony of some kind, whether it's video, pre-recorded or not, or just let Tommy read a few words as to what was asked and what the answers were, something along those lines.
Right, the game. This person's ex said that they don't handle confrontation very well, and you could put a name up. It could be a game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. And then they have to guess which one of the ladies that this is meant for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be interesting because we know how much they love games, especially what's that game they always play at the getaway? El Cid.
I forgot what the name of the game is, but they always do a kind of like truth or dare kind of thing. But
yeah.
I need to get to one of Khalil's dates. When we get there, I have something to say.
Okay. Okay. Well, next we have Rose, and it looks like I think that's Hussein. That's she invited to meet her ex, Kaylon. Well, what did you guys make of that date? El Cid, we'll start with you.
He was selling a bill of goods. He was selling Rose as, high value, and he was not saying anything negative. There's a way that you could certainly speak about, some traits she has to work on without making it sound like she's the next Mother Teresa. Because ain't nobody believe that, because the way she popped off on Fritz about his surrogates, we know Rose has some thorns. So I'm glad that Hussein and Cam were like, we ain't buying what he's selling. She is not, all encompassing. And Cam had a great question. It's like, okay, what about this church thing? Is it that important? You didn't go to church with her. Did she make a big deal out of it?
Ooh,
That
yeah.
was an important question to ask for Rose. I think she looked beautiful. She looked gorgeous. Love her natural hair. But Rose, we know them thorns can pop out at any moment.
Yeah, she did pop off a little bit in the past.
Mhm.
Cam didn't seem to buy it either. Like you said, Cam didn't seem to buy this. She's so perfect. Jr., what did you think of the date?
Yeah. I definitely agree. The reason why I came up to that question is because he's already said he's not into church. You know, that's not his thing. He doesn't see himself going
Hmm.
into that part of his lifestyle, the spiritual side of things. So yeah, they didn't believe the hype. You know, there's more to her than what was portrayed. But also, we can't invalidate the ex's experience of being with her. If that's what he says, then you just got to, you know, take that as his experience with her. It still may not be theirs if they were to ever end up with her in a relationship.
Okay, okay. Um, w- we've got Tay on a date with her super fan Cisco, and then she's got Khalil. What did you make of this date with these three people and no ex there? Elsit.
Tay hiding something, okay? But I understand she said many of them are in current relationships. We did not ask them to rekindle with Tay. So there's something that they just don't want to be around, don't want to be seen, don't want to be filmed. But now this Khalil situation, I would have expected Naeem since he was rubbing her feet before. But Khalil, since they realized Khalil has some orator skills, okay?
Hmm.
Khalil has been in demand for the ladies, okay? I'm
Yeah.
sorry to say.
Wonder why. What do you think is the reason? Because he kind of came from the back and now he's in the front. What do you think is the reason?
Exactly as you said it. I don't think you realize what you said, Aubrey. Remember that
Exactly.
game in the
Yeah.
streets?
He does come from the back, Aubrey.
There you
Mm.
go.
Oh,
He
wait,
does.
the double entendre you guys are throwing at me. I'm lost.
That's what
How
he
can
said in the
yeah.
game that
Hmm.
he has no problem eating back there. That's what he
Yeah.
said in the game.
He likes to
Ooh.
eat through the back door. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it now.
You fell in it and you didn't even know.
I did. I really didn't. Look, I was trying to get a couple of Cheeto puffs in and not crunching your ear.
But that Khalil
Oh,
has become popular since then.
oh,
Hmm.
they like all of that, huh? Oof, okay. It's a new day, isn't it?
It's the muscles, it's the tattoos. His dreadlocks are kept well. Even if
Yeah,
he didn't have said that skill, he certainly is a fine looking gentleman. Okay, he is a fine looking gentleman.
he is. He is.
And we see Tay and we see Cisco noticed it. Tay was very much giving Khalil her attention, even though
Hmm.
Cisco was kissing on her face before.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They've actually shared a lingering kiss, and that's why he felt away.
Oh.
See,
Exactly.
see, the thing with these type of dates is you may think you're the person's top connection, but you don't know what they've been doing on their dates with when they go on other dates, right? So I think Cisco may have been quite surprised at how much attention Khalil was getting, but he did say, you know, it's all fair game. You know, he's made a best man win type thing, not particularly competitive about it in a disrespectful way, but more in a healthy competition way.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
yeah, as I say, there are some occasions where if the person not bringing their ex, then that's a red flag. That's if you don't bring an ex, unless they're, you know, like you said, some are incarcerated or deceased. But if there's nothing, then that should instantly put them in a position where they failed the task and they should be, you know, considered for elimination. Why? Because the ex is the task. And if you haven't had a good relationship with them, that may be the case, but still, pick someone that you did have a good relationship. And if you can't find anybody that you've dated before that you didn't have a good relationship with, then that also says a lot about you and your picker. and how you handle relationships.
Well, yeah. Okay, so can we slide over to Angie's date with Cam? Once again, she did not. This time, she did not bring her child's father. She's on the date alone with Cam, and Cam is not impressed. He is very disappointed because the other guy got to meet her baby daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about that, Jr.? What do you think about their date?
I can understand why Cam was pissed, because that was unfair. At this stage in the game, why is it okay for one person to meet him, but he can't, but Cam can't? So I can understand why. I don't get the logic why she would do that, because he's already come on the show and he's already given a reference. So he clearly didn't say anything terrible about her. So I can't understand why she would have thought that that would be acceptable. And then what she can do without that ex being there is explain the relationship from just her perspective, and it won't actually provide much context into what she's actually like to be with. It's just her perspective that she's sharing.
Right, and aren't we gonna think that she's gonna gloss over whatever it is she's gonna say? She's gonna gloss over to make herself look like she is a wonderful, perfect person, basically.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But she didn't do that. She didn't do that. She did express exactly what was said. But here's the thing. I'm gonna be on the opposite side of JR, okay? This is the first time we're gonna be in separate corners. When we first met Cam said he didn't date anyone with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it could be Angie, took that to heart. Like, I don't know if you are ready for a woman with a child. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to introduce you yet to my child's father to even pursue a relationship because this may be too much for you. So I kind of understand. I kind of understand, but she should have told him. This is where communication comes in, that this may not be the right time. But because she fumbled this, I don't think she's trying to play him. Because if playing him, I would have played him and said, you know what, we are moving forward. I don't think it's the right time. Gloss it up as much as possible and then leave him feeling like he was a bouquet of roses. But because she fumbled this it's either she doesn't really want him that much, or she's like, hey, I don't know if he's going to, adapt well to having a girlfriend with a child. And she already knew Hussein had a child. She already bought a gift too early for Hussein's child. So I understand the difference here.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, Elsie. That's a very valid point. And then we have to go to, okay, is there another ex you could have bought? Because that's your
remember,
child's
her
father.
fiance passed away.
Yeah, her fiance did. Okay, so that's two relationships. If that's the only two relationships she's had, then
yeah, we believe in that she only had two relationships in her
exactly.
whole 30 some odd years.
When people are bringing college boyfriends and all types of stuff, yeah, okay. Well, at the end of the day, she didn't bring no one, and he felt slighted at first, but she kind of warmed to him a lot more because of how he reacted during the date, and now she's finding it difficult to choose between him and Khalil. Him and Hussein.
But here's
she
the
said
thing.
Cam rose in his value based on how caring he was and all the rest of it.
Cam also showed us what card she plays. He said every time they talk, every time things get, to a particular area, she brings up, more suggestive conversations. She always puts it there. So you got to look and see, do you want a relationship or do you just want to smash?
Right. And I know I'm skipping a few scenes here, but he's starting to respond to those type of things. Because if you look at the elimination date that they went on, he was very suggestive as well, very flirtatious. Can I touch you? I want to touch you. I want to, So he plays it up too. But again, they came away a bit closer than they were going in. That was the objective.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move on to the next date. Help me out. Firefighter lady. What's her name?
Diana.
Diana,
Blonde hair. Diana, Naeem, and
Khalil.
Khalil. Right. Khalil went out on a date. And they, once again, no ex, just the three of them. Those are her two top picks right now. What do you think about their conversation during their date, El Cid?
Diana, you ain't fooling me, okay, girl? You heard about Khalil and you came with them cheeks exposed so he know what he'll have to play with. Okay, you are not fooling me, Diana. I
Mhm.
am sorry. The minute I saw that, I thought first it was material covering up, it was a silhouette, but when Naeem said it was the entire package, I was like, okay, Diana, I see what you're doing. And you made sure to be tilted over so that when Khalil passed by. Okay, you ain't fooling me, girl. But this one, I think she was playing in our face. It's a difference between her, Sahara, and Angie with Cam, who didn't have someone. This one, I felt Deanna was playing in our face. Deanna didn't want to bring an ex. She probably would have sunned him like she did Hussein. So I
And
felt she
Cam.
was playing us. And Cam, she did sun Cam early on, but
Mm-hmm.
Hussein at a date, I was like, yeah, she playing with us. It could be someone coming in there. We know what they're going to say, that she exactly what she said. She put her career ahead of the relationship, and
Hmm.
then it going to be someone who's going to say the same thing, like Angie's child's father. She didn't let me have control. She didn't let me be the leader in the household. We
Hmm.
kind of know the things they're going to say.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that he likes her, to see her go out there with the booty cheeks out in the pants. We don't know who
Hmm.
he is or what he has to say.
Right. Well, I'll
Go
say this. I've got to agree with you again, I'll say. I think Dionna's previous relationships, from what we've seen of her, I think, it's going to be exactly as you said. It's the case where there's a power struggle, and she has always felt like she's above the guy, or in some respects, she's a high level or high ranking firefighter, with a great career, and the attitude that comes with her. It would be easy for me to picture her emasculating whoever she's with. So I don't think she had any viable exes that would be able to promote her in a glowing light. That's the reason why they're not there. And then, interestingly, who's on the date with her? Naeem, with 5 children. Now, with her having her career and holding herself in such high esteem, I don't think she'll want to attach to herself to a man with 5 kids for a start. There's going to be some financial burdens there, um, because of his situation. And then, with Khalil, yes. Now, I think there is that element of what we were just saying about how freaky he may get down. And she obviously is a freak too, because I don't see why you'd wear cowboy uh, straps or whatever they're called and have your panties out, um, and going on dates with 2 men like that. Like
are those called chaps? I think maybe.
chaps, yeah.
Hmm.
So, I know she rode a horse earlier on her date with Hussein, but this ain't no horse riding date. You didn't wear chaps then. You're wearing chaps now to go and sit down and have brunch or whatever it was.
You
So it's a
sure?
s- very flirtatious move. I know women can wear whatever they want. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to police her, but I'm saying
Yeah.
if you go to a date and that's what you chose to wear, don't be surprised if people are looking at that and thinking, wow, you're trying to get my attention with your physical to distract me from what your personality is actually like.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find the comment. I was going to put it back up
It's
on the
right there.
screen. Huh?
It's on the screen.
Oh, right. Oh, yep. It is. You're right. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. It's already highlighted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Miss Wilson says that she probably had them on to keep their eyes on her behind and not on the fact that she's missing her ex. Yeah.
Exactly. not
Yeah.
the missing ex, and also the way she may carry herself in a relationship. And let's be real, she is a very solid, well put together young lady. So
Oh yeah.
if she's showing off those assets like that, doesn't
Mhm.
leave much to the imagination. We've already heard that Khalil is a freak of some kind. I'm not shaming him before you jump on me, Elsie. I'm just saying he has said that
What? You're not into the peaches?
he
You're not into the peaches?
yeah, nah, he saw that and he thought lunch, dinner, every day, every night. That's what
Well
he's thinking.
fed.
Yeah,
And a snack too, right before bed.
exactly.
Woo.
So and unfortunately there are some guys that will be willing to say, okay, well, she's fine, or she's solid, she's thick. So they'll put up with the emasculation, the disrespect, to a point that they come with her as a package in order to just
Oh,
be a part of that situation.
almost like Michael. It made me think of Michael and Angela on 90 Day Fiance. Like, because she always emasculates Michael. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of just looking at it that way. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I do see that with Deanna. She does seem to be like, I didn't like from the beginning the way she treated Cam when she questioned him and found out that he was a lower rake in the fire department than she is. That wasn't the time for her to just put him down and make him seem like a kid. Like, what did you guys call it? She sunned him, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think that was I didn't think that was cool of her. Like, I
Not
don't
at all.
know. Yeah,
Not
I
at
don't know.
all.
It's gonna be difficult for her to find somebody to date if she wants somebody that's going to be higher ranking than her. Those men, 9 out of 10, are either married or in relationships with younger women. So
Exactly. Like, so, that you hit the nail on the head. She wants to be with someone that she can respect for them having a higher level than she is. So that's going to be a superintendent or some type of fire chief.
yeah.
Um, Cam, she was in that position that Cam's in at one point, where she was just a firefighter going about her daily or whatever, and she managed to
Right.
get promotions. So what's to say that Cam can't get promotions at some point? He loves his profession, clearly.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, she just took the opportunity to degrade him at that point, which was unkind. But at least she was honest with how she feels, and she didn't lead him up the garden path and switch on him.
And comments in the comment section are so hilarious. I love it. Little Hurler says, which Genuine are we talking about when someone said that she looks like she wants to ride Genuine's pony? Are we talking about pre abs or post abs? I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now the guys are meeting up with Tommy and the
Wait a minute.
gentleman.
We
Oh,
missed one.
did I
We
miss
missed
one? I'm sorry.
Angie
Help me
with
out.
her child's father with Hussein.
Yep.
Okay, Angie with her child's father and Hussein. What did you make of that date, Elsit?
One, Angie being the overachiever. We heard her say that, okay, in the date that was at, or the group date that was at Fritz's Airbnb. She's an overachiever. She had one with Cam with nobody, and now she has her child's father. So I kind of understand it with Hussein, but again, the communication from Angie is lacking because Angie did not tell Hussein who this man was. He had to basically figure it out later. She did not introduce him as this is my child's father, because you see Hussein says, hey, very
Oh yeah.
respectful.
Yep.
And later on, he's like, oh, this is different.
This
This
is the
is
guy. Let me give him a different handshake or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
exactly. This is a man that's going to be here forever.
Mhm.
Let me respect you as her son's father.
Father, yeah.
Again, this is where I'm like, Angie, the communication. Now, when he said Angie wouldn't, let him take the reins, remember, again, this is not excuses for Angie. This is just a look into Angie. Remember what Angie told us? She got like 4, 6, or 10 brothers, and she's the
Mm.
only girl. I
Oh
can
no, I
see
forgot
why Angie behaves this way, even if it's in a relationship, because she has had to wrestle for control probably from her brothers.
that.
So
Oh.
I can give her that much, but in a relationship is different. But her driving herself to the hospital while she's pregnant, I know it's not ideal. I know he felt like he was not needed and not wanted, but I will say I will ask for understanding, okay?
Okay.
That sometimes some of us, not all women, some of us would do that to distract us from the pain. We need something to do.
Yeah.
It is not ideal because Angie, y'all could have had an accident, okay?
Yep. Yep.
Because you
The
don't know
baby
what's
could have
going
came
on.
right down there on the floor of the car. Yep.
Exactly, right between the pedals. But
Oh,
again,
oh
I could
Lord.
see why she wants something to do, but she will have to figure something out because that was not the safest option for them. But I could understand what she did. My thing is, Angie, the communication, the letting go the reins. I don't know the type of gentleman that she would be able to do that because the son's father seems, by what we saw, like a solid guy, but he doesn't seem like a very, loud, domineering
No,
personality.
not at all.
And she
No.
may stumble all over him because of that,
Mm.
But anyway, go ahead.
So
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
kind of see it slightly different. I think in that situation that they described, um, she obviously giving birth is a traumatic experience. I don't have kids myself, but I can only imagine, and from what I've heard, it's a traumatic experience. The body's going to go through shock. You're going to have contractions and all these different things going on. Waters are going to break. You chose to handle all of that without involving him at the critical moment when the child's going to come into the world. So that level of independence or freezing him out at that time, that is a major concern or red flag, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yes, regardless, this is your ex, this is who you had a relationship with, and you're bringing a child into the world while you were still together in some capacity. So you have to have involved him. Yes, the safety aspect, but also who's going to be there to hold your hand and console you while you're giving birth and all those different things. You trusted the medical professionals, but not him to be there. So that's what I took away from that. That's too independent, in my opinion.
A little bit too much. A little bit
Yeah,
over. Huh? Kind of.
childbirth is a life changing experience. I can only imagine how that must feel. But it's a special occasion. It's a momentous occasion. It's something that brings you together in that moment because you're giving birth, and that's a blessing. And
Yes,
he
it
missed
is.
out on that blessing. You can't do that over. You can't redo that.
Yeah.
Once the child's come out, it's not going to go back in, so you can redo it.
No, it's not. It's not. Good
Right.
point.
So,
Good
did he
point.
say he missed it? He said he was in a car right next to her while she
Yeah,
was
he
driving.
was. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think what is Jr. Is what you were referring to, the fact that he didn't drive her to the
Yes.
hospital, and that
Exactly.
when he
Yes.
retells the story, it will always be that she was the one driving herself to the hospital, which makes him look kind of lackluster. And yet
He didn't.
he
He wasn't
wanted
needed. He
he
wasn't
want right.
needed.
He wanted to, but he wanted to. It wasn't like
Mhm.
he was an absentee father that as soon as he got her pregnant, he dipped out. He was there. He was sitting
Exactly.
right next to her.
But that's
Right.
part of the lack of communication with Angie. If she told, listen, I know you want to drive me. I just need to do this. They could have, but I know that's a critical point where you're in pain. You ain't even thinking right. That's another conversation to have. Hey, I was not in, thinking right, doing right, hormonal. I just wanted to get there and I just went into autopilot and did not mean for you to feel like you were not needed or you were not with me.
Right.
You have to have that communication so that the story in his head, as you said, for all these years is not going to be, I was not needed.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I was
And
not. Hmm.
that you're absolutely correct. The fact of the matter is if she wasn't in her right mind or there was hormonal things going on, and she
Hmm.
was, yo, are you in a position to drive? Then yeah, probably not. It's probably not a good idea for you to get behind the wheel if you're
Good
going
point.
through things.
Good point. Good point. Someone wanted to know, to go to Africa, wanted to know, well, was he the father of the child? Well, as far as we know, I mean, that was what it intimated to me. Did Elsid, did you get the idea that he was the father of this child also?
Yeah, we got, they eventually said this is, son's father. That's why Hussein kind of changed his handshake. So
Mhm.
I don't know if Pennsylvania is a mandatory paternity testing state, but um they introduced him as the son's father, so that's what we're going to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that it was. He seems to. that's the way she introduced him to us. Finally, like you said, she didn't communicate that right off the rip, but we got it a little bit later. Now we move to the men in the gentleman's lounge. What did you make of the conversation in the gentleman's lounge, Jr.?
They gave their honest feedback. Shanice, I don't think Shanice has enough connections to have stayed, so she's obviously going to be down there. Angie, I just don't think her dates went as well as she would have liked, so that's why she was placed down there.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see Angie, but I guess they had to put someone. I mean, at least the thing about her, I have to say though, at least she had someone there
For one of the dates, but not
for
the
one
other.
of the dates. Yeah, but like you said, I forgot that Cam had said that he wasn't used to dating women with children, so perhaps that was the reason why he didn't meet her child's father.
Absolutely, but that still didn't, for him, he still took it as you prefer that guy over me. That's why you introduced him. What's wrong with me? I think again, if you're talking about communication, she could have articulated that.
Okay.
You haven't had children, you haven't dated a woman with children before, so I didn't think it was a good idea. Thank you.
Okay. s10, what was your take on the gentleman's lounge?
I think Jay said what he needed to say. Okay. Jay said what he needed to say about the whole situation, how it fishy, it funky, and he don't like it, and he don't like, what's going on, but she still is top connection. And I think it exemplified that Angie did not have good communication because Cam is only hurt because she did not explain it to him. She did not have a conversation because he would have gone into that lounge and could have said, hey, I didn't meet, child's father. Hussein did because she's just concerned. I haven't been with anyone with kids. It could have been navigated way better. Cisco, whatever. Cisco, basically, he was like, I know he a little hurt that Khalil is kind of like infringing on his time with Tay. He's saying it and sounding good, but again, the body language did not give me that he was comfortable with may the best man win.
Nah, he wants to be the only man. Deep down. But he understands the show.
Well, so then we have the elimination dates. Angie is with Cam, and Shanice is with Cisco. How did you think the men did on these dates? Let's start with Cam and Angie. Jr., how do you think he did? How do you think he handled her on that date?
Fairly well, actually. Yeah, I think they both handled the elimination dates fairly well. I didn't see any issue.
Okay.
He was graceful, he was courteous, and he let her down gently.
Okay.
Well, he built up the suspense.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was kind of nervous there for a minute. What about you, s10? How do you think Cam handled Angie on the elimination date?
He handled it well. He is proven to be the elimination dater. Okay, he is proving that he should be on every single elimination date, which possibly he has been because Sahara been on the bottom, and now all this time, and now Angie's on the bottom, and they've placed him to talk to her. I don't know if that is scheduling or if that is by production design, but he is definitely the elimination dater.
The eliminator. That's funny. Okay, then we come to Shanice's date with Cisco. That was very interesting. Well, because Cisco got a little emotional toward the end, and it was almost like he was having regrets of some sort. What did you make of that, Jr.?
Yeah, I think he got emotional because she channeled God, and even if I'm not the right one for you, I was sent here to deliver the message to you, and this, that, the other, and that really touched him.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it was difficult. He's letting go of his second top connection, and now Tay has another connection as well. You know, he's in a predicament now. He doesn't have the security blanket of having a second connection there.
Do you think it would have helped if he had fought harder for Shanice during the gentleman's lounge elimination uh meeting?
Yeah, but it would have been just him. I don't think she has other connections.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
So the numbers game wouldn't have worked.
It would have been better for him. Yeah. El Cid, do you agree with Jr. How Cisco handled himself on the elimination date with
I want. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to be that person. Okay, I'm going to be that person. Why are we crying and you are sending me away? I'm the one being sent away off to the sunset, told to get the heck up out of here, and you the one sitting here crying in my face. I'm not saying he can't be emotional, but it's like, why are you more emotional than I am? Because you know it was a move. You knew that. You knew I was a good person. You know I was a
Mhm,
good woman for
mhm,
any man out there. But then again, you couldn't stand 10 toes down and stand
mhm,
in the decision. You got to be sniffling out here because you didn't agree with it. You knew it. You knew it wasn't right. But you know what? It was right. She did not have another connection. She, Fritz was gone. But I was like, wait a minute. You sending me home. Why the heck are you crying? Why the heck are you crying?
That's what To Go to Africa wants to know too. She's like, well, I don't understand the reason for his crocodile tears.
Well, it was like I just think it was the whole sermon that she gave. You know, it was a graceful exit, but it was an emotional one. She channeled. You know,
Yeah.
I think Cisco hasn't had much support recently. We know he's had a strained relationship with his mom, and she brought that up too.
Well,
So,
exactly that. She is also the comforting human being or the
right,
comforting woman in his life right now.
Mhm.
definitely.
Again, Tay ain't that for him right now.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So he might have, maybe he would have done better from all angles, not just from the show, but also from a personal, emotional level. Maybe he would have did better to fight for her and keep her there.
It wouldn't have worked because Shanice already checked out. The fact that the way you talked about Tay on our date, I would have been
Mhm.
checked out.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because if he didn't eliminate her, he would have been the next one on the platter the next week. Because unless Tay want to fight for him,
I think he's gonna be on the platter anyway. Someone is saying, where is it at? Just a few comments above here
He is.
that
Yeah.
he may self eliminate.
Well, it showed on the preview that Tay's issue with him is his stability, and obviously, uh, from what we've heard, he is living in a room or something. So, as a result of being divorced, he's rebuilding at the moment.
and
So,
here it is, Shanice, who she has been very open in the ladies' lounge, said she has gone through the fact of not having stable housing. So again, this would have been a woman who understands you're rebuilding. So what you need, what you want is two totally different things. But I wanted to be Cher in Moonstruck and be like, snap out of it. You are sending her home. Why does she have to sit here? Because for me, it seems a little bit selfish. You sending her home, she is sitting here comforting you when it should be the other way around. It gives me
mhm.
the sense that, Cisco is a taker, taker, taker. What have we seen him
Mm,
give? What have we
ooh,
seen him give to any of the ladies in this process?
A kiss to Tay, and that was it.
Please. Please.
mm. And that was for
What
himself, probably.
he probably was, but it affirmed to Tay that he's feeling that. He didn't
Yeah.
kiss Shanice,
I
although that body part date, he did actually write his name on her chest.
I think that whoever said in the chat, oh, that's Little Hurler. Yeah, let me get that back up for a second. I think that it's a looks issue. I think that
Mhm.
he felt like Tay is so beautiful and he's so physically attracted to her, but he didn't have the same level of attraction for Shanice.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
mm,
And in a way, he'd already committed to Tay by giving her a kiss. So,
Ah.
he's gone and nailed his post to the mast on Tay, and Shanice was second,
Mhm.
and somebody's got to go. So,
If y'all
unfortunately,
if y'all could see my eyes rolling, it's also that Tay said that everyone in her life has cheated on her and she has been able to forgive them. And he has said he has cheated in the past. He knows someone who will forgive him for his sins if it came to that. I'm sorry. It could be a looks issue too, but it's also she gonna forgive me if I ever slip and fall in these streets.
Oh, wait a minute. Tay said that to
To
Tay said that
Cisco
to
in the
Cisco.
very first a second episode, first mixer, she said that to him. That's why she
Oh,
felt uneasy when he had first said, "Hey, I've cheated in the past."
mhm.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's coming back to me now. Okay. Yeah.
You know, the folks in her past have cheated on her before. He knows she would forgive because Shanice ain't forgiving. Shanice standing on 10 toes down. You cheat on me, I'm gone.
So
Mm,
Tay's gonna
yeah,
take. I'm
that
sorry.
that could definitely be one of the reasons why he sent her home. But again, he was just required to do the elimination date. He may have actually still wanted to keep her in some capacity as the second connection, just for the numbers. If you don't have connections, you're going home.
going home. Yeah. Oh, it looks like next week we got coming up. The women are going to be bringing their family to meet their top connections.
No, the
Um,
men. The men are bringing their
The
family.
men.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the men. You're right. The men are bringing their family to meet the ladies. You see anything that looked like it was particularly interesting, Jr. In that the clip?
Uh, Other than the Cisco clip where he looks like Tay saying she doesn't trust his stability. We also saw Cam with his head in his hands. So he obviously gets into some hot water next week as well.
Okay, okay. I
Because
can't.
he juggling three ladies. Cam is
Mhm.
juggling
Yep.
Sahara, Angie, and
Mhm.
Rose. He
Yep.
juggling.
Miss Wilson says, "Who do you guys think is going to go home next week? Which one of the guys? Are we still leaning towards Cisco? You guys, both of you,
I,
or
I wish it was Cisco, but if Tay playing the game, she would keep him for the vote.
yeah, I think she would
Yeah.
too.
I'm not sure who Jay has as a connection. Um.
Kiara,
Yeah.
the one with the suspect crush.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say outside of her, there's no one.
No one.
So I think it's going to be Cisco, because once the reputation gets around the girls group that he's not stable, then I think he'll probably
Yeah.
be him.
Do we suspect at this point that all the women probably know that he's not financially stable and he's
I would
not
assume
really
so.
have his own place?
You got a few of the women that have children, so they're not going to want a guy who's not stable. You've got Deanna the firefighter, who's definitely not going to be with someone who's not stable. I can't think of anyone that's actually going to be. Once Tay's made that statement, then it looks like the writing's on the wall for
He's
Cisco.
persona non grata.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Why would you think the woman would want you if you don't even have your own apartment? You know, People may think, stability, he has a room or whatever. If he has his own apartment, yes, Philly's expensive, but your own apartment also says you're at a certain level where even a leasing office is going to take a chance on you. And if the leasing office ain't going to take any chance on you because you're not financially stable enough for a leasing office, why would a woman who is, trying to, progress in her life want to take a chance on you?
Hmm.
Mm. Wait a minute. Who got slapped on the butt? Sahara got slapped on the butt by Jay?
Hmm. I think
Did
that's
you?
the retreat. I think that's the following episodes of the
Yeah,
retreat.
I can't wait. Now that's what I'm always waiting for. The retreat is where everything goes down and we really find out what's really going on
I
and
hope
who's
Deanna makes it to
really
the
with who.
retreat.
You hope so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What
Why?
about
Why do you hope she makes it to the retreat?
Because Sahara shouldn't be the only one getting a little love tap.
I thought you were going to go down that route. It's going to be a big tap for Deanna because
the whole palm, Jr.
two palms. It's going to be a two hand slap, double high five.
Who are we talking about with this double slap? Who are we talking about, Jr.?
Deanna.
Oh yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot back there. There's a lot going on back there. That peach is very large peach. Well, Jr., tell the folks what you got going on and where they can find you.
Yeah, okay. You can find me on Life is Reality on YouTube for more reviews like this. JRX TV on Instagram, where I do a lot of different things, not necessarily relationship wise, but more health, well-being, fitness type of stuff. So yeah, catch me on there.
Okay, very good, very good. El Cid, you're next. What's up?
I am Elcid932 on YouTube. I do Match Me Abroad on Tuesdays with actually Aubrey, our hostess. I also cover King's Court on Wednesday. On Fridays, I do Unscripted, which is basically whatever the chat wants to talk about. And we've been talking about stuff in the news, and we've been having good kiki about top 10 songs of decades and certain years. So Friday is a good time.
I love that part. I love that part. The top that music. That's so good. I was in the chat. I don't know if you saw me. I was in there. I had to. I was in the bushes, but I was in there. That was cracking me up. Those are some good ones, though. Yep.
On Saturday, I do cover Project Runway. That is my top recap right now. The Meet the Designers is over 3,000 views. The episodes 1 and 2 crossed over 1,000 views before it even made it to 24 hours. So I'm really proud of Project Runway. Yes. I also cover Alone, a survivalist show that's about to end because everybody tapping out. But that's on the History Channel. And I have another segment, Unsolicited Advice, where we pull stories from the internet and we offer our unsolicited advice. And right now it's on Sundays, either 12 or 1. So make sure you have your notification bells on so we can, have a good kiki.
Mm-hmm. And also don't forget, we have Love is Blind UK starting up soon as well.
Middle of August.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. You guys are both going to be covering that, right?
I'm covering it. I put out episodes. I cover Love is Blind internationally, mainly. And that's where my channel started. And I have a big international following. So it has 4 episodes, I believe, starting August 13th. I'll put out an episode a day. And then I'm trying to put on a weekly live if our schedules can sync.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the thing. The schedules can sync. But El Cid is out there. She just recently crossed over to, what is it, 500 plus subscribers?
Now we're 570 plus, yeah, in a week.
Moving fast, moving very fast. But she's got a lot of great content. So you definitely need to see her. Go join her page. You definitely need to go join Life is Reality's page. I know him as JR. I will always call him JR. But check out everybody, those pages. Go check them out on Instagram. And I believe that El Cid is also on TikTok.
Yes, L_Cid_932. And I just put out clips of the shows on TikTok right now to get my feet wet.
Ah, very good, very good, very good. All right, guys. With that note, we're gonna shimmy and shake on out of here, guys. You guys have a great week. Thank you so much for hanging in there. And whoever you people are that have just subscribed, trying to get me to that 3,000, I thank you very much. I've grown over the last couple of weeks, so I want to thank you for that. I love you and I appreciate you. And we'll see you next week, the same time, same place. Bye.